Oh, look, dude, there's new DLC for Supercross 2. It's probably going to be some tracks or something really cool. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Milestone. Is this Milestone or is this EA? What is this? Jesus Christ. What's up, my dudes? We got the 2019 Daytona Supercross predictions. So yeah, Daytona's always a good old time. I like the whole kind of little mixture in the Supercross season where it's not just every single track is a standard Supercross track. You got the kind of Daytona, but this is a bit more of a hybrid-y style track in my opinion overall. So I think it's pretty cool to have that in there. Oh my god, never rode on this track in my entire life, so bear with me. What the hell, is Reflex gonna crash? Okay. I don't know what the hell just happened right there. Okay, so predictions, right? So obviously Webb is on a roll right now, and I don't think anybody can really question that. That is so insane how quick that he went from like basically just a, you know, lucky if he gets a top 5 to freaking winning 5 races damn near in a row. It's just so crazy to me. But so there's that, right? And then obviously you got Tomac lurking back there. He had a bit of a weird race that last weekend. He's getting these weird bad starts and then having a lot of trouble getting back up to the front. I don't know what's going on with Tomac right now. It's really, really weird. Like, I guess at the beginning you could kind of blame it on his little secret injury that he had, his little whatever kind of, I don't know if it was a back injury or whatever the hell it was, and then it was kind of like, okay, Tomac's coming back around. You know, he won a couple races, or he won one of the Triple Crown races and won one of the main normal main event races, and it was like everybody's kind of thinking, okay, he's coming back around, he's probably going to get on a roll, and now he's kind of just kind of, I don't know, he's kind of floated back into this, oh my god, I'm going at a snail's pace through those whoops. Now he's kind of just floated back into this bit of a just kind of weird Tomac riding mode. I don't know any other way to explain it. He's just riding a little bit weird. I don't know if it's the new bike. I don't know what it is. There's no telling what Tomac's going to do in Daytona. He could whoop their asses. He could get dead last. You know, there's really no telling. You guys still remember that iconic where Tomac's wheeling all the way down that whoop roller section on that Honda. You guys remember that. And then obviously you got Baggett, which is known for riding good on these like Daytona and outdoor environments. He's been getting close, real close to getting another win. So you got that right there. I think it's going to be either Tomac's just going to come out and smoke them, or it's going to be like Baggett. I mean, Webb could do it, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know. There's something inside of me that just kind of doubts Webb's going to win another one. I mean, it's possible. Certainly is possible. I don't know for sure. So you got all that there. And then you obviously got Roczen still in the background. He's kind of been a little bit quiet here for a couple weeks, getting like 5ths and 4ths and shit. So he could come out swinging too, but I don't know. I feel like it's either going to be Tomac's going to just completely do like a 180 turn, whip it around, and just smoke everybody by, 10 seconds, or Baggett's going to come out there and win just from being, really good at outdoor and being kind of known for that and doing that and always kind of coming out swinging in Daytona. So yeah, I don't know. It's been a really bizarre season, man, honestly. Now Webb is like quite a ways out there ahead in the points now. It was really close just a couple weeks ago, but now it's really starting to spread out, and I knew it would, having the Triple Crown, then the East-West Shootout, and then Daytona all right there in a row. It's just so much craziness. I knew the points were going to be kind of starting to spread out and kind of stuff really starting to happen with the points now, and it definitely has happened. I would say, what is Tomac back by? He's probably back by like a full race at this point, right? Or close to it. He's probably like 25 back or better from Webb, and I don't know how far Roczen is back. He's, getting those 5ths and 4ths while Webb's out there winning. Friggin' Roczen's probably like 15 or 16 back or something. I could be a little wrong on that, but I think he is somewhere like that far back. He may be like 8 points back or something. I don't know exactly. I just know when somebody's clicking off them damn wins and you're not getting like a second place right behind them, they're going to, really start multiplying their points in that kind of sense. Oh, this track, dude. This is a really tight Daytona track, right? There's actually a Reflex custom track from last year. It's got a very tight feeling to it. It doesn't have that like super wide open Daytona feel. It's almost like a Supercross version of Daytona. It sounds kind of weird because it's still technically a Supercross track, but this is more like a totally Supercross version of Daytona or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's a little weird, but yeah, dude, either way, I just want to come on here and make a quick little video about my predictions for it. Pretty sure everybody's fantasy picks from the beginning of the season is completely flipped on its head at this point. You know, everybody that expected to be up there, like, you know, Tomac, Anderson's completely out now. And then somebody that I don't think anybody really completely expected, especially going to a brand new bike. That's really rare for that to happen. Somebody go to a brand new bike and then just instantly start whooping ass. Like, that's pretty rare. And they hadn't whooped ass previously in that class, right? Like, Webb hasn't just, you know, been smoking them in the 450 class, then goes to a whole new bike, and now he's like just absolutely whooping them. I don't know. It's insane. So Webb could certainly come out. That would be cool to see, like, a Tomac-Webb battle at Daytona. Tomac-Webb, Baggett. That'd be really, really cool to see that. I think Roczen's just going to chill somewhere back in the... He's probably going to get, like, a third, maybe, or something like that. I think Roczen is really, really looking at it in an overall point sense. And I don't know how much longer they can do that without Webb just taking it over, you know, plumb over. But I don't know. I mean, I think Webb certainly is going to do pretty good in the next few races, but I don't know how much Daytona is just going to totally, oh my God, dude, I'm full gas on the throttle, and I'm going like -2 miles an hour through those damn whoops. Oh my God. Sometimes on these custom reflex tracks, it can do that to you where you just barely move. So yeah, either way, I think Daytona is going to throw a little bit of a wrench in Webb's, you know, kind of program he's got going. I know he kind of played around with a lot of different setups at, I don't know if that was the last round or the round before, and then so he kind of did a little bit weird in the heat race or whatever, and then by the time the main event came around, he did a lot better because he kind of went back to what he had before setup-wise. So, you know, I don't know if his current, like, you know, really, really good setup that fits him good, that he's been running, getting these wins with, is going to, you know, fit Daytona properly. You know what I mean? Because it's just totally different. So that could definitely throw a wrench in his program a little bit there. When you get to that level, everything's got to be so perfect. Like, you wouldn't think that just like being an average, ordinary, just, you know, more weekend warrior kind of motocrosser dude in real life. You wouldn't think that, but when it's to that level, everything counts. You know, if that setup is just 1% off, it'll completely change how fast they're riding, you know, or if one little thing is not quite where it needs to be, they're not going to look like the same rider. So it's every little thing makes a difference kind of thing on that. And so, yeah, that's my prediction. Either it's going to be Webb or not Webb, sorry. It's either going to be Tomac or Baggett. I think that's who's going to be up for the win there. And, I mean, even Musquin's been lurking back there, but I just don't feel like he's going to get a win in Daytona. I think Musquin will get a win, but I don't think it'll be in Daytona. I think it'll be some other round. So that's my predictions. I really just have that kind of hunch that Tomac's going to just come out, because he's starting to get into that mode where it's like that Tomac mode we've been known these past couple years, where he feels like he has to win every race or he's not going to win the title. And he's almost getting back in that position points-wise. You know, he wasn't like that after the first, like, 3 or 4 races in the beginning of the season. He was still right there in points and actually led the points for a race. But now it's starting to get, like, someone else has to turn it on or Webb's just going to run away with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, literally, Webb will full-blown run away with it, kind of like Anderson did. And as long as Webb doesn't have any catastrophe race, then he's just going to get it easily. You know, so, but Daytona kind of marks somewhat of the halfway point of the season, maybe slightly past the halfway point. So, yeah, we're like in that kind of realm. So it is still, anything can happen. I mean, you guys know how racing is. Webb could go out there and have one little anything. I mean, it's just crazy how motocross is like that. Any little thing. You saw it last year with Anderson, where he had that huge points lead, and then something happened to his bike. And then he had a really bad race. You know, it could not even be that dude's fault, right? It could be a bike malfunction. It could be anything. Anything could happen. It could be somebody wrecked over a blind jump and the flaggers can't get to him quick enough. I mean, there's just a plethora of different little things that can happen that's not even actually on the rider. And then you talk about the rider actually making mistakes, you know, and potentially break. If any of them breaks a bone, I'm talking about Webb, Tomac, you know, Roczen. If any of them, not even breaking a bone, if any of them just tears a ligament or tears an ACL or whatever the hell, they're out. They're not going to win the title. And all that takes is the smallest little fall. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird in motocross how some of the smallest falls can be some of the worst injuries. I mean, I've seen people absolutely wad shit up, and I've wadded shit up in real life. Like, literally fourth gear tap, throttle stuck, flipped off of the side of the berm on a track, literally launched off of my bike, like, over the whole width of the other side of the track, flew in the air for, like, 4 seconds flat, just flying in the air without my bike, and landed on the other side of the track in a mud hole, and I got up like nothing even happened. And then there's times where literally dudes will tip over in a corner and break all kinds of shit. So it is just weird how that happens with motocross sometimes, but I don't know. But it doesn't take, you know, the human body is so fragile, you know what I mean? Like, it really is, and it's just one of those things. You don't have a roll cage, so anything can happen at any time, and that's why with motocross, you can't, you know, it truly isn't over until the very bitter end of it. Like, so you never just want to think, oh, Webb's got it in the bag or whatever. I don't know about that, dude. I mean, I think Tomac's really going to start. All it takes is Tomac to get on a little bit of a win streak, not even a huge win streak. If he just goes out there and wins Daytona and then wins like the next 2-3 races, and Webb starts getting like a 4th and a 5th or a 3rd, you know, starts getting 3rds and stuff, they'll be right back there in the points with each other, you know? Or if Webb just has one bad race where he has a wreck at the beginning and hurts something on his bike and all he can do is pull off a 15th and Tomac wins, they're right back there in the points just like that. It's so crazy how much of a consistency game the pro racing is. That's all it is a consistency game. A lot of people get confused thinking it's like a speed game. Hell no, dude. It's all about that consistency at that level. Because, I mean, you could be the fastest guy in the world, but if you miss one main event, you pretty much lost. like, I mean, seriously. You know, I mean, you've seen that. You got to be Villapoto and a half to actually do really, really bad in a few races and still win the title. Like, to actually miss a main event and still win the title, you literally have to be Villapoto and a half to do that. And most of those guys aren't quite like Villapoto was as far as championship kind of contender and just being able to put it all together no matter what happens. Villapoto just had that ability to do that like I've never seen before. Like, no matter what happened, you know, he could not even make it to the main event from wrecking. I remember that. Was that at, like, Jacksonville or something? He, you know, Reg didn't even make it in the main event that one year. Could you imagine not even making it in the main event and then still winning the title? That's insane, dude. That is insane. Tomac came close a couple times, doing really bad in a few races and then almost winning the championship. He did that the last 2 years, so he's obviously capable of it. It's just a matter of getting on that roll, man. I just can't believe it. It's just so weird how on some race nights it literally looks like Tomac is just in La La Land or something. It doesn't even look the same. And then on other tracks, it's like, oh, there's the Tomac we remember. It's so weird. I don't know. I was expecting a lot more of a consistently fast Tomac than I'm seeing right now. He's just still very, very inconsistent on how he's riding in his starts. He literally I saw him almost dead last out of the first couple corners last weekend. He was like 18th. Like, Jesus, Tomac. We're going to have to get some better starts than that, boy. You're making it way too hard on yourself. But either way, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's just my prediction. It's going to be Baggett, Tomac. Obviously, I still feel like Webb's going to be somewhere up there. But there is that possibility of Webb just totally not feeling it on Daytona for whatever reason. He just can't get the bike to work right. There is that possibility as well. So that's there. Roczen could just absolutely find some sort of, you know, secret fire under his ass and smoke everybody. That's possible too. But I don't really see that happening. I would see Tomac coming out swinging more than I would see Roczen coming out swinging, but that's just me at this point. So, either way, dudes, that's my predictions. I don't know. This shaped up to be a really weird season. A lot of weird riders doing better than you thought, and a lot of riders doing a lot worse than you thought. You know, it's not like a very predictable season, is the right way to say it. It's not very predictable. You know, at this point, it's a little more predictable, right? But this is a totally different outcome than what 90% of people thought was going to happen before the season started. We all thought it was going to be Anderson leading the points, or Tomac leading the points, or Roczen leading the points, and neither one of those guys are. Roczen's still in second, right? But, I mean, neither one of those guys is, like, leading the points now, and it's someone that you didn't even really expect. So, it's pretty crazy, man. Anything can happen, and all it takes is just that little strike of finding the right feeling on the bike and feeling comfortable, and that little strike of confidence I feel like Webb got from winning those Triple Crown races. I think that did every bit of it right there. I honestly do. I think he was already riding somewhat decent, but just being able to get up there in the front on those Triple Crown races, it then allowed him to realize, like, yo, I can come out here and win this shit. You know, it wasn't so, like, impossible of a task. And then look at what happened. I mean, confidence is probably the most important thing, because if you don't have that, it don't matter what you've done on the bike. It don't matter how hard you've worked. It don't matter how hard you've trained. Ain't none of that matters if you don't believe that you can win, right? There's so much of that involved in it, it's not even funny. Just that belief of it, and just that consistently knowing that you're capable of it, and being able to actually apply that on the track without trying too hard. I think Tomac might have tried a little too hard here and there in some of these races. He got a little impatient there with Reed in the sand section. I think that was like last week in the heat race. And, yeah, that certainly can happen to him. But just getting in that flow, that just feeling it, not trying too hard, but trying enough, and everything just working out for him. That's what's going on with Webb right now. He's got the confidence. He's got the feeling right on the bike. He's got everything's swinging in his direction now, and I don't even know how it happened, dude. I don't know. It's crazy. So either way, dudes, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later.